In September of 1870, a woman by the name of Emily Beard mysteriously received a box of chocolates at the doorstep of her home in Brighton, England. When she ate one of the chocolates, she quickly spit it out due to a strange, bitter taste. Not long after this occasion, she fell violently ill. Soon, various people throughout the town were falling ill as well. Fortunately, all of these people, including Emily Beard, eventually recovered, and thus this mysterious occurrence passed without any suspicion. That was the case at least until 4-year-old Sidney Albert Barker passed on June 12, 1871 after consuming a piece of chocolate given to him by his uncle while his family was visiting the area. So, what was the connection between all these cases? All of the people who had fallen ill had consumed chocolate from a local chocolate shop, J.G. Maynard's. The chocolate eaten by Sidney Albert Barker was tested and discovered to have been laced. The Barker family initially planned to sue the shop owner but never went through with it. Soon later, many well-known and influential people in the area began to receive packages of sweets sent from various names and addresses. The Beard family was targeted again, and 2 servants, as well as Mrs. Emily Beard, fell ill after consuming plum cake that they had received. By August of 1871, 6 different prominent figures in Brighton had become violently ill after eating the sweets. Eventually, a boy named Adam May was questioned, and he confessed that he had been sent by a woman named Christiana Edmonds to pick up the sweets, as well as the poison contained in them. As it turns out, Christiana Edmonds, who had moved to Brighton in 1969 and fallen in love with the local doctor Charles Beard, wanted to get rid of the obstacle getting in the way of her and Charles Beard's relationship, which was Charles Beard's wife, Emily Beard. This started her poisoning spree, in which she bought chocolates from J.G. Maynard's shop, laced them with strychnine, and returned them to the store, or mailed it to her specific targets, resulting in the illnesses of Emily Beard as well as many other influential figures in Brighton and the death of Sidney Albert Barker. For her crimes, she was initially given a death sentence. However, it was later changed to a life imprisonment due to her mental illness, and she would spend the next 35 years in the Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic Asylum until her death in 1907. Christiana's case is one of many notable cases of strychnine poisoning. So what is this chemical? Strychnine is a colorless, bitter, highly toxic crystalline alkaloid extracted from the seeds of the Strychnos nux vomica tree. It was also often used medicinally and therapeutically to strengthen muscle contractions and served as a heart and bowel stimulant. It was a common topical treatment during the Victorian era used to aid in muscle contraction and paralyzed limbs. Strychnine was used in digestive aids, sedatives, and stimulants until as late as the 1980s. At the same time, strychnine has poisoned and killed hundreds of people throughout history in both unintentional and malicious contexts. In the late 19th century, it was used by serial killer Thomas Neil Cream to murder several prostitutes in London, and also by Belle Gunness, one of the most prolific female serial killers in history, and the suspected culprit behind over 40 murders, to murder several of her victims across Illinois and Indiana. During World War II, Oskar Paul Dirlewanger, German commander of the most brutal and notorious combat branch of Nazi paramilitary SS organization, was known for torturing several Jewish women by stripping them and injecting them with strychnine and watching them convulse to death. Strychnine poisoning has also occurred in both humans and animals from exposure to pesticides or rodenticides, as well as when mixed into illicit drugs like cocaine and heroin and certain herbal supplements. Strychnine is a neurotoxin that serves as a competitive inhibitor of the postsynaptic glycine receptor and primarily targets the motor nerve fibers in the spinal cord, which are responsible for controlling muscle contractions. By blocking the effect of glycine, the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, it causes uncontrolled stimulation of postsynaptic neurons, causing muscle spasms and asphyxiation. The lethal dose of strychnine in adults is as low as 5 to 10 milligrams. It can be introduced to the body via injection, inhalation, or oral consumption. It is transported through the body by plasma and red blood cells. Within 5 minutes of ingestion, approximately 50% of the ingested strychnine spreads to the body's tissues. The first symptoms, muscle spasms, begin to occur within minutes of initial exposure. At a low dosage in the first 15 to 30 minutes, other symptoms such as seizures, cramping, stiffness, and hypervigilance begin to occur. Seizures can cause various other symptoms, including hyperthermia, kidney failure, rhabdomyolysis, and respiratory acidosis. As the poisoning progresses, other symptoms including tachycardia, hypertension, cyanosis, opisthotonus, and rhesus sardonicus may occur. In higher doses, brain death and respiratory failure can occur in 15 to 30 minutes. Generally, the cause of death for those suffering strychnine poisoning include cardiac arrest, respiratory failure, multiple organ failure, or brain damage and can occur within hours. Nowadays, strychnine poisoning has become much more infrequent after being banned from food and medicine in 1962 and from indoor pesticides in 1989 due to its danger to human health. Though strychnine poisoning has no true antidote, treatments have been found and are becoming more effective as our technology becomes more advanced.